So very good afternoon to everyone. Once again, I welcome you all here in this series of expert sessions in ELT. And today, in this second session, we have Dr. Nitin Pillai sir. And I request Dr. Rohit Baktharia sir, faculty of the institute, to introduce today's expert. Rohit sir, please.
Thank you, sir. So friends, today's expert is Dr. Nitin Pillai. Let me give brief introduction. Dr. Nitin is working as an assistant professor at Faculty of Business Administration, GLS University, Ahmedabad. He earned master degree in English from St. Xavier's College, Ahmedabad, followed by the PG DT, that is Postgraduate Diploma in Teaching English from EFL, English and Foreign Language University, Hyderabad, specializing in English teaching with specific focus on language testing and assessment. He earned PhD from Gujarat University for his work in alternative language assessment strategies, which builds on his previous investigation into the concept of higher order thinking skill and language assessment. As a part of his Master of Philosophy title, he has also been awarded an online certification in language assessment from University of Maryland, Baltimore. His professional experience extended over 10 years of teaching postgraduate and undergraduate management students. He is also an examiner for IELTS with British Council since 2015. He was reached the quarterfinal top 32 from 11,000 plus participants at the Know It All, the World Teachers Quiz 2020, organized by TCS and World Teacher Tribe. He has been awarded for his outstanding contribution to education by the Indian Council of Literacy, Social Education and Cultural Research, and is also the recipient of Justice Ibrahim Sheikh Award and Srimati Sardaben Kharawala Gold Medal for Excellence in Education, and was recently is actively involved in the academic committee, extracurricular and co-curricular committees and placement committees as Faculty of Business Administration at GLS University, Ahmedabad. Thank you, sir. Out from my side, the session is now yours. Yes, Nitin, sir.
Thank you, Rohit sir. Could you confirm if I'm audible or not?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Rohit sir and Odia sir, for that wonderful introduction. Uh, it's when such introductions are given कि पता चलता है हाँ हमने भी कुछ किया है. We are also of some metal. But I would give another introduction of mine to the students who are here. Irrespective of the titles, the designations, the education that I have had, I would still call myself a student and a learner of language assessment. Okay. And today, though I'm taking an expert lecture, I'm taking it as an expert who has read language assessment more than 10 years than you. That's about it. I will not call myself an expert because language assessment is a field which is always growing. There is no end to it. There is no beginning to it. Consider this as infinite. And in that case, I also am a learner just like you. So what I'm going to do today in this session is I may not give out any concrete ideas to you. What I'll give out is certain thoughts. And I want you as B.Ed students to think about this the next time that you are going to take a test or you're going to take an exam. And that's how we will go ahead with it. Can I have a few students telling me if that is okay? If you guys can unmute yourself and tell me whether that's okay or not.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Nirjari, for that. I will be asking a few questions and you can just give me your honest opinion as we go ahead. So let me start with my PPT. I will. Please let me know if my PPT is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir. It is
Yes, sir,
visible.
it is.
Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much. Thank you so much. So I'll take you through a small little small little activity at the very beginning, and then we will see how these things develop. Anywhere that you are not able to hear me, or there is a lag in the PPT, please feel free to tell me. Okay. So what we are going to start with is, I'm supposed to teach you assessment of language skills, right? तो उससे पहले मुझे पता होना चाहिए कि आपका लैंग्वेज स्किल कैसा है. यू आर ऑल B.Ed स्टूडेंट्स. So I need to do a small little quiz with you. It's a vocabulary quiz that I will do. Okay. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to put up 6 questions, 6 words. Okay. Each word has 4 options. Meanings हैं. आपको select करना है which is the best meaning for that particular word. Okay. So you understood this? It's a vocabulary quiz. 6 words, 6 words के 4 option. आपको select करना है which is the best word in terms of a meaning. Okay. While you do the answer, I don't want you to focus on the full meaning. A B C D लिखा है, आपको सिर्फ सिलेक्ट करना है कि A बेस्ट है, B बेस्ट है, C है, D है. Okay. Only twist is, I'm going to show you the word for only 8 seconds. That's it. I don't think B.Ed students need more time than that. So I'll show you the word for not more than 8 seconds, and then I'll go to the next one. Are we ready? Are we ready?
Yes,
everyone?
okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Excellent, excellent. I like this energy that you guys have. So here is the first word for you. 4 meanings. You have to select the best option. Here is the first word. Six, 7, 8. Going to the next one. Here is the next word. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Going to the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I understand this is slightly fast. I'm giving you 10 seconds now. Next word. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The last word for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. I hope that all of you have your answers written for yourself. Let me move on to something called the power of tests. What is a test? See, a test is basically like this tree. Okay. A student is like this tree. The test is like the pole. ठीक है? अब होता क्या है? Student is learning language the way that it grows, and language is very natural. You know, it is structured, but it doesn't grow straight. It grows in whichever way you want. But what a test does is, test will find the best language, cut it into a shape, attach it with the student, and in a way inhibit the natural growth of the language. टेस्ट बनता वही लैंग्वेज से है, इंग्लिश से ही बनता है, बट इट काइंड ऑफ स्टॉप्स द ग्रोथ ऑफ द लैंग्वेज. एंड दिस इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड पावर ऑफ टेस्ट. सी, टेस्ट, English tests and English exams are basically something that an authority does, and it actually displays your public weakness. जब नोटिस लगता है इतने मार्क्स इसके आए, इतने मार्क्स इसके आए. You would also remember that this was brought out in a movie called Three Idiots. कि सर सबका मार्क्स वहां पे लगना अच्छी बात नहीं है. And many a times teachers uses that as a disciplinary tool. टीचर को पढ़ाना नहीं है, वो क्लास में है, उन्होंने बोला चलो आज टेस्ट लगेगा, या बच्चे आवाज कर रहे हैं, they will all of a sudden they are like, I'm going to a dictation test, go ahead and do it. So these tests have a very negative impact on the students. I hope that you understand this. I hope that you understand the image. Did you guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Now my question is this. एक मिनट, तुम बोलोगे यार वो टेस्ट का रिजल्ट कहाँ गया? कौन सा टेस्ट का? मैंने क्विज करवाया था ना पहले. आपके दिमाग में ऐसा कुछ आया कि यार वो रिजल्ट तो दिया नहीं, आंसर्स तो दिए नहीं और ये आगे बढ़ गए? डिड एनीबडी थिंक ऑन दोज लाइंस? We did that vocabulary test. I never gave the answers. I never gave you results. Did it pinch you in the head कि यार ये आगे क्यों बढ़ रहा है? The only purpose. Yes, somebody wanted to say something.
Yes, sir. And you didn't ask the question.
I didn't ask a question also. So may I know who's speaking? May I know your name?
Me, Sandeep. Sir.
Sandeep. So Sandeep, how did you feel at that time? How did you feel? And others can answer. Yes, sir.
I thought that you later on asked that.
शायद बाद में पूछेंगे. थोड़ा ऑड लगा आपको कि इसके तो आंसर ही नहीं दिए और ये आगे बढ़ गए? Was it a little odd for you? Did anybody feel any nervousness while they were doing the exam or the vocabulary? Did anybody feel that time कम पड़ रहा था? Did you feel any of that?
Yes, sir.
Did you feel the time was less? Did anybody did anybody feel any frustration?
Yes, sir. It is going very fast.
It was going very fast.
Back to
ठीक है?
back.
Back to back very fast. Did anybody feel like abusing me? यार ये सर क्या करवा रहे हैं यार? Time तो दो थोड़ा. Did you feel that? Be honest about it.
Yes, sir.
A
Yes.
little bit, right? Yeah. So you don't have to tell me what abuses came to your mind, but see, the purpose of doing that quiz was not to test you, not at all. It was actually to make you feel what your students are going to feel when they give an exam. See, when students give an exam, they feel the same way as what we did. Time कम है, आता नहीं है, मुझे पता है इस word का meaning. Hippogriff is a word that most of Harry Potter fans would know, but I just don't know what that word means. ठीक है, the clock is ticking. This guy is counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 seconds आगे बढ़ो. There is a pressure situation that most of the students feel in any kind of exam. And I'm very sure that you also feel the same when you go to give your B.Ed exam. But the added problem in language testing and language assessment is, let's see, when students go to give a commerce ka exam, accounts ka exam dene jate hain, it's a field that they have chosen. Language is not a field that they have chosen. The kids who are studying in school, they have not chosen to speak language or chosen to learn English. It has been given to them. When they come to college and they are doing engineering or medicine or commerce or business administration, they have come for a different subject, and English is like a mandatory thing which is given to them. So they are really not interested in learning that language. But the exam time comes and they know that English mein agar fail ho gaye to bura hoga, and that pressure is always on them. This is what tests can do. If tests can make us frustrated, if it can make us abuse the faculty, if it can make us confused, if it can bother us and annoy us, it can definitely do it to the students also. So language assessment and language testing cannot be taken lightly, because the impact, the psychological impact, is a huge task. So what we need to do is figure out how I can make language assessment better, challenging, better and challenging for my students. And that's what we are going to do. Okay, take a look at this text. Quickly read this text. Yesterday I saw the Palgish Flester Golgi Begdun the Bruck. He seemed very changeable, so I did not jotter him, just appealed to him quickly. Perhaps later he will be Bisan candor and I will be able to wrangle to him. Does anybody know what this is? English, eh? Did anybody understand the meaning? Anyone? Okay, can I pose a question to you? Can I pose a question to you? Take a look at this first question. The first question is, what is the Flester doing and where? Can somebody answer this? What is the Flester doing and where?
Sir, is it Golini?
He is golliging where? Where is he golliging?
Background.
Bigrand the Bruck. Can I know the names of the people who answered? Can I know the names?
Nirzari.
Nirzari
And
and
Poonam Sharma.
Poonam, ma'am. Okay, so Nirjari and Poonam, brilliant answers. So what is the Flester doing? The Flester is golliging. And where is the Flester golliging? He is golliging Bigrand the Bruck. Okay, look at this question. What sort of a Flester was he? Anyone?
Sir, please repeat the question.
What sort of a Flester was he? Sorry?
Palgish Flester.
Palgish, brilliant. The Flester was Palgish. Okay, going to the next one. Why did the writer decide not to jotter him?
He seemed very changeable.
He seemed very changeable, brilliant. How did the author de-apple? How did the author de-apple? Slightly tough one.
Quickly.
Quickly, brilliant. I'm very sure that most of you are getting the answers. Okay. And what did she hope would happen later? What did the author hope to happen later? So maybe the last line. Later he will besant Kender, and what will she be able to do?
Wrangle him.
Wrangle to him. Wrangle to him. Brilliant answers. अभी एक ट्रूथ बता देता हूँ, एक सीक्रेट बताता हूँ. ऊपर जो लैंग्वेज लिखा ना वो इंग्लिश है ही नहीं. इट्स जिब्रिश. ऐसा कोई लैंग्वेज एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करता है, right? But how were you able to give the answers? How were you able to give the answer? See, when I said what sort of a Flester was he, you looked at Flester and you looked at an adjective in front of him, which is called Palgish. Okay, that gave you an idea that this is an adjective, and if Flester is a noun, Palgish would be an adjective, and Palgish is the answer. Okay. When I asked how did she de-apple, so it says just de-apple to him quickly. It's an adverb. The internal mechanics of reading and grammar are coming to your experience. Even with a language that you don't know, you are able to give me the right answers. And I'm very sure, though one or two people answered, others were also able to think of the answer. Okay, what is the Flester doing? So the Flester is golliging. ing लगा है, मतलब इसका मतलब कोई verb होगा, action होगा. Golliging बता देते answer. You gave me good answers, the correct answers, without knowing the language. What happened here? It is the kind of questions that I asked. Let me give you one more paragraph. Take a look at this. Yesterday, I saw the new patient hurrying along the corridor. He seemed very upset, so I did not follow him. Just called to him gently. Perhaps later, he will feel better and I will be able to talk to him. So the same one, the Palgish, Flester, Golgi, I have changed it a little bit. Now let me ask you a few questions and some of you can answer. What is the problem that is described here? Anyone? Anyone?
May I, sir?
Yeah, please do. Please do.
There was a patient who was hurrying to the corridor and was upset.
Okay, so there is a patient who seemed upset. Excellent answer. Okay, now the question is the event taking place indoors or outdoors? Is the event taking place indoors or outdoors? Yes?
Outdoors.
Okay, I have one answer which says outdoor. Anybody else?
Indoor.
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 Yeah, all three people saying indoor, right? Why do you think it is indoors? What gave you the answer?
Because it is described corridor. Corridor is in the interior of the building. Or
brilliant. Excellent answer. Just one word, corridor, which just clearly says it is indoor. Okay. Question is, did the writer try to get near the patient? The answer is no. She did not try to get near the patient. Very clear. Let's go to the fifth one. What might the job of the writer be? What might the job of the writer be? Any guesses?
A journalist?
Maybe a journalist. Okay. What could be closer? Journalist is a very good answer. Anybody else with a different answer?
Doctor.
Maybe a doctor.
Doctor or psychiatrist.
Maybe a doctor or a psychiatrist.
Doctor.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Somebody who says doctor is halfway. Somebody who says it's a psychiatrist is full on there. What gives us the clue? So it's a patient. All of a sudden the schemata works for us. Patient है तो doctor होगा. Indoors है. Patient और दूसरा बंदा indoor कब होगा? ये hospital होगा तभी. Now the patient seems upset. Now if the patient is upset and the doctor understands it, maybe it is a psychiatrist. Brilliant answers. Why do you think she wants to talk to the patient? Why do you think she wants to talk to the patient?
To help him or her.
To help him or her psychologically. Now, if you look at this, are the questions in the first paragraph and the second paragraph, same or are they different? Are they the same or are they different? They are very different. They are very different. The first one is about reading exactly the grammatical structure. The second one are higher level questions. Okay, I am asking you to infer. I am asking you to look at going beyond the sentence. I am asking you to think about your background knowledge and put it here. The idea is both of them are good assessment tasks, right or not? Both of them are good assessment tasks. वहां पे पैराग्राफ में इंग्लिश है ही नहीं, फिर भी आप आंसर दे पा रहे हो because your reading skill is what I have taught you. In this one, you are able to come up with the answer because I have asked the right questions and I got the right answers. See, many a times in assessment and testing, we blame the students. We blame the students by saying students have not performed, they have not written the marks, they have not written the correct answers. But that's not the case. Actually, the problem was the question was not right. And because the question was not right, students were not able to give the right answer. In the first paragraph, if I had asked you whether this is indoor or outdoor, none of you would have answered because that question itself is wrong. Whether this is indoor or outdoor does not go with the first paragraph, it goes with the second paragraph. Me asking you what is the profession of the author does not go with the first paragraph. Okay? On the contrary, in the second one, I cannot ask you what kind of a fluster was he, कि वो patient कैसा था, because second paragraph में वो दिया ही नहीं है. So again, asking the right questions gets you the right answers. So 80% of the job, 80% of a job in an exam or in a test is on to the teacher to create something which is right, the questions are right, and it fits in, and it helps the student to think, to use language naturally and come out with the right answers. And that job is within us. So remember this, ask the right questions, get the right answers. Now I'll go to some technical, theoretical formats. Please bear with me because in ELT generally, not in ELT वाले थोड़े smart होते हैं. हम लोग को ये सब चीजों के terms का meaning पता होता है. Teaching क्या है, assessment क्या है, what is a test, what is evaluation, we know all of this. But outside the world calls it anything. When a teacher is sitting and checking papers, कोई उनको आके पूछता है क्या कर रहे हो, तो बोले evaluation कर रहा हूँ. I go to a class, I play a tape and I make the students do an activity. I'm trying to check whether the students know listening or not. कोई आके पूछता है क्या कर रहे हो, तो बोलता है test कर रहा हूँ. That's not the case. These words are different. So let's look at how they are different. Okay, take a look at this. Your full-fledged activity of going to the class, using authentic materials, using critical thinking, taking a look at what methodology you want to use, looking at the approaches, that's your teaching. Okay. While you are teaching, you need to check whether your students have learned or not, whether your course has been successful or not. You need to give your students multiple opportunities to learn something new, and that is called assessment. Assessment के अंदर आता है measurement, और measurement और assessment का छोटा सा part है test. So when I say language assessment and when I say language testing, they are two different things. Testing is a very minimalistic thing that we do, and assessment is this large scale thing that we do. Assessment can be as simple as something like when you're sitting in the class, you're asking a question to the student, and the student says, sir, would I drink some water? And you say, no, dost, it's not would I drink some water, may I drink some water? That also is assessment, but that is not a test. But when you make the student sit for a 1 hour, have a question on modal auxiliaries, would kahan pe aayega, could kahan pe aayega, may kahan pe aayega, that is called test. So remember this, that when you go on to teach, have more of assessment and little bit of testing. Then comes the word evaluation. Now, what is evaluation? If I were to go back to Bachman, right? Lyle Bachman calls evaluation interpretation of information, the value and meaning which is put on the performance. It's very difficult. Let me just explain this. Did you guys make a judgment about me or not by this time? Have you guys made a judgment about me? Be honest. You would have had an evaluation about me, right? Yes, no, मैं answer दे सकता हूँ. Yes. Only one person made a
Yes.
judgment about me?
Yes. sir.
Yes. Some of you would have started by saying, क्या बोर मार रहा है यार, या क्यों क्विज करवा रहा है यार, मेरे को क्विज नहीं करना है यार, मौसम इतना अच्छा है, why would I do a quiz? Some of you were like, okay, he makes sense, but I don't know where he is actually going. Right? Some of you were like, okay, brilliant session, I understand what he's saying, it does make sense. And I hope that the third category is more than the first and second. But when you judged me, you are basically putting an evaluation, you are interpreting the information, you are assigning a meaning to my performance, and that's called evaluation. यानी कि जब मैं वो स्टूडेंट को बोलता हूं बेटा वुड नहीं है, मे आई ड्रिंक सम वाटर, एंड इफ आई पुट इन माय डायरी स्टूडेंट एक्स 1 mark less, that is called evaluation. When I ascribe a number, when I ascribe a grade to any activity, language activity that my student has done, I would call it evaluation. Is this clear? Do you understand the difference between teaching, assessment, measurement, test, and evaluation? Can I have some answers there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, got this? So evaluation is basically ascribing a number. Now let's take a look at it. In general teaching, what happens? Okay. Diagram A is what most of our school teaching and college teaching is like. So there is teaching and learning throughout the semester, and at the end of it, there is a test. Okay. At the end of it, there is a test. End sem exam, mid sem exam, ho gaya. Scenario B is what semester teaching is all about. So there is teaching and learning, there is a mid-sem exam, then there is teaching and learning, there is an end sem exam. These are both called testing. Assessment is this way. True assessment is this way, that teaching and learning happens constantly, and assessment also happens along with it. Assessment also happens along with it. That is called a true assessment. Okay. Now assessment में कर कैसे सकता हूँ? पूरा साल चलाना है, पूरे कोर्स में चलाना है. How do I do it? So I do multiple things. I would, when the students start, I would take a placement test with them. ठीक है, placement test के basis में मुझे पता चला इनका language कितना है. Based on that, I will teach them a little bit. After I have taught them a little bit, I'll take a quiz with them. You know, a 30-mark quiz to figure out whatever I have taught, whether they have learned or not. From there, I will make an evaluation saying that, okay, XYZ things need to be taught more. I will teach some more. Then I'll give them a project. Assignment sort of a thing. I will check that, give them some feedback, move ahead, give them a portfolio to make. Then I might go ahead and give them a diagnostic test, and then comes the final assessment. Honestly, in education, you are not supposed to do A, B. You are supposed to do C by following D. C and D is what you are supposed to do, but I very well understand that administratively this is not possible in a scenario like India. In an Indian scenario where we are teaching, where there are 300 students in the class, 400 students in the class, or even 70 students in the class, doing A and B makes more sense. But I think we should at least know that there is method C and D which we can implement. And that is something that you need to keep in mind. Let's say going ahead, you get into schools or colleges, especially schools which have a smaller classroom, like a classroom of 30 or 35. So some of the international schools do this. At that place, you might be able to do D more than doing A or B, because that is injustice. एक साल पूरा पढ़ा के लास्ट में एक टेस्ट लेके स्टूडेंट का लैंग्वेज पूरा जज करना इन दैट 2.5 hour 3 hour window is absolute injustice. On the contrary, D will be more natural. All right, this is the basics. Now let me go to some test types, after which I'll be sharing a few caselets with you. Okay, when I talk about testing, the only thing that I have to understand is tests can be of 4 types. Tests can be of 4 types. They are achievement test, second number pe placement test, third is a proficiency test, and fourth is a diagnostic test. Okay, achievement test, placement test, proficiency test, diagnostic test. Now, what is an achievement test? Very simple fact. Achievement test means you run a course. There are certain objectives. At the end of the course, you take an exam to figure out, or you take a test to figure out whether the objectives have been met or not. So in English, let's say my unit is modal auxiliaries, present tense, past tense. ये मुझे एक सेमेस्टर में पढ़ाना है. I teach them in the class. At the end of the semester, I take an exam where there are questions on modals, present tense, and past tense. That's it. And I do an evaluation, and I figure out of the 100 students, 70 of them have scored very good marks, first class. That means my teaching was successful. Course objectives have been met. Second is something called placement test. Now, in the placement test, what you generally do is, and this is not something that India actually does a lot, only small private organizations do this. A placement test is basically a test for measuring the level so that you can mentor them further. What does this mean? Just as you come into the college, or just as your students come into your class of communication or English, you take a test with them. Based on the test and the score, you divide them into three categories: advanced, intermediate, and lower intermediate. Okay. Once you have divided them according to their levels, you give them special training. That advanced वालों को ज्यादा ट्रेनिंग की जरूरत नहीं है, इंटरमीडिएट वालों को थोड़ा ज्यादा ट्रेनिंग लगेगा, और जो लोअर इंटरमीडिएट है उनको तो बहुत ज्यादा ट्रेनिंग लगेगा. So to divide the students according to their language capacity, you would want to do this. Okay. Abroad in the US, UK and Canada, they do this a lot, especially with Indian students. When you go for test, when you go there, join IELTS भले आपने दिया हो, वहां पे वो लोग एक टेस्ट लेते हैं, and if they feel that your band is only at a 5.5, much lower than that, they place you in a special English class so that you can learn that better. That's called a placement test. Then there is something called the proficiency test. Proficiency tests are basically looking at your overall language ability. Okay. To give you a different example from language, I can give the example of CAT, Common Aptitude Test, CMAT. Okay, you would have heard of these tests, right? JEE, they are all proficiency tests. So what is happening in JEE or a CAT? Course किसी ने पढ़ाया नहीं है, school ने पढ़ाया नहीं है, but they are testing your overall ability to understand maths, data interpretation, data analytics, language, and current affairs. Overall ability. Your IELTS, your TOEFL, your GRE, GMAT, most of the standardized tests that you find in the market are proficiency tests. Okay. You can also have a proficiency test which can then become a placement test. ऐसा नहीं है कि ये तीनों अलग चारों अलग अलग रहेंगे. You can always link them. The last one is called diagnostic test. Very simple, just as the word says. You basically give a test to the students to identify their strengths and weakness. So if I have a class, I taught them something, let's say modals, present tense, past tense सिखाया, मैंने दिया student को test. Students जब answer करते तो मुझे पता चलता है यार, many of them have scored 70%, but 30%, ठीक है, जो उन्होंने छोड़ दिया है, that is primarily in modals that they have left. Either they have got wrong or they have left that answer, which gives me an idea that they need more improvement in modals, and I have to work hard on that. That's called diagnostics test. Okay. I might be teaching them listening skills. I take a test with them on listening after having taught them. मैं टेस्ट लेता हूँ. मुझे पहले लगता है कि ये अचीवमेंट है, क्योंकि मैंने लिसनिंग सिखा दिया, listening for gist, listening for information, listening beyond, listening for information. I have taught them all of that, and I take a test with them to see how well they have understood. I believe that it is an achievement test, and then I realize that most of them have scored wrong in scanning, listening for specific information. They are not able to do it. That means that's their weakness. Maybe I taught them wrong, or most of them studied wrong, but I definitely need to work on it. And that's why it's called a diagnostic test. Okay. So achievement, placement, proficiency, and diagnostic. Now, based on this, I would like to run caselets with you. If you are ready, I'm going to put up few situations. You have to tell me whether it is achievement, placement, proficiency, or diagnostic. Okay. I'm not asking whether you are ready or not, because here it comes. Okay. Take a look at this situation and tell me whether it is achievement, placement, diagnostic. Which test is this? So in a school where they are teaching Bachelor of Engineering, for 2 months they have taught phonetics. And after that, an oral test is administered. All students are asked to read a text with correct stress and intonation. What kind of a test is this? Achievement है, diagnostic है, proficiency है, placement
Sir,
है.
it's an achievement test.
It's an achievement test. Thank you so much. Brilliant. I have taught the course. Objectives have been met or not. Take a look at this. A teacher who's teaching in GSCB, Gujarat Board, ठीक है, 4th standard की हैं, walks into the classroom, distribute blank sheets of paper, unannounced dictation देते हैं on the words which were wrongly spelled in the homework that she corrected the evening before. What kind of a test is this? Think about it. Achievement?
Sir, it's diagnostic.
It's a diagnostic text. Brilliant. Because the teacher is trying to figure out, okay, all of them spelled it out wrong. Now I need to figure out kahan galat ja rahe hain. So I'll give a dictation, figure out where they are making the mistake and help them. This is a diagnostic test. Brilliant. Let's take a look at this. ट्वेल्थ स्टैंडर्ड के बाद कॉमन एग्जामिनेशन होता है इंग्लिश का अक्रॉस द कंट्री.
It's a proficiency test, sir.
It's a proficiency
Sir, it's
test.
proficiency test.
Brilliant, brilliant. I'm so happy that you guys are getting this. Slightly longer, take a look at it. It's about H.M. Patel. Take a look at it.
Sir, it's proficiency test.
Are you sure? Okay. So if there is a text that has been prescribed.
Sir, it's evaluation.
Evaluate, no, this we are only talking about the test. Achievement है, diagnostic है, proficiency है या placement है?
Sir, it's achievement.
It's an achievement test. Okay, I'll explain how this is an achievement test. All that the teacher is saying is, आगे का actually misguiding है. First 4 lines are absolutely misguiding. The simple fact is, after the first class, every day, students have to answer a short 15-minute MCQ on the parts of the text that they have covered in the previous class. Course objective match हो रहे हैं कि नहीं? That's all that they are looking at. That's about it. Okay, last one. Not related to language, but we can always talk about it. What kind could it be? So she teaches art class. Yes.
Sir, it's a
Proficiency.
placement test.
Okay. Okay. I've kind of got 2 answers. Just one is missing.
Sir, it's achievement test.
It's actually all 3 together. All 3 together. Okay. So on the first day, she's asking students of 2 different categories to do 2 different things based on their proficiency. Once she knows the proficiency of the students, she gives them different kind of activities. For 3 months, she trains them. Basically, based on that proficiency, she's trying to place them. कि इसको आता है, इसको नहीं आता. 3 महीने उनको सिखाती है, and then at the end of the course, she again brings the same test to see whether they have achieved what they wanted to achieve or not. So it starts off as a proficiency test, which also can be used as a placement test, and the same thing can be done towards the end of the course as an achievement test. So the best part about testing is it need not be one time, one use only. It can be used for multiple purposes. Is this clear? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Can I move ahead? Can I move ahead? We'll be using a little more of caselets, so please stay with me. I am now going to go on to the principles of assessment. These are the same principles that we use in testing, and they are also the same principles that we use in assessment also. Basically, when you are creating any test or an assessment, there are 5 principles that you will have to keep in mind. These 5 are, starting from the left hand side, there is practicality. Let's go counterclockwise. So there is, first thing is called practicality, then comes reliability, then validity, authenticity, and coming back there is washback. So these 5 things have to be kept in mind. No matter whether you are doing an achievement test or a diagnostic test or a proficiency test, or you are creating a portfolio, a quiz, a project or an assignment, unless and until language testing or assessment doesn't carry forward these 5 principles, they cannot be called good tests or good assessments. Now, what does each one mean? Let's look at it. The first one is called practicality, right? You cannot create something which will be very, very expensive, which takes a lot of time to create and to deliver, and it takes a huge mechanism to administer. ऐसा कोई टेस्ट आप क्रिएट नहीं कर सकते, ठीक है? Just to give you an idea, if I want to check whether my student can speak English properly or not, I will say that I am going to attach a person to the student. मेरे क्लास में 30 बच्चे हैं, मेरे को 30 फैकल्टी चाहिए. हर फैकल्टी हर बच्चे को फॉलो करेगा everywhere that the child goes, and they will note down what our language they are saying, how they are saying it, whether they are saying it brilliantly or not, and then I will come out with the result whether the student has learnt English or not. This is not possible. It's a brilliant idea. It's a brilliant idea. ठीक है, आइडिया तो कोई भी ला सकता है, वर्क भी करेगा. Some universities in US have done this program, but that was with a handful of people, maybe just 5 people or 4 people. You can't do it in a class of 30. Forget about doing it in a class of 30. Think about the Indian classroom with 150 students. Such an exam is expensive, it is time consuming, and it's very, very difficult to administer. Okay, practical possible नहीं है. Ideas तो आपको बहुत सारे आएंगे. One of the new ways in which Canada is doing language assessment, you guys wouldn't believe it, is by having students participate in online games. Okay, online games. So MPPROGs, so multiplayer role-playing online games like COD, Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, any of these games, they will ask students to log in. The faculty will also log in. The faculty is actually playing the game with them, and because it's a multiplayer game, you have to constantly talk with each other. Okay, so if it is COD, Call of Duty, if anybody knows about this, you are basically attacking a terrorist organization and you are soldiers. So you have to constantly tell your team, okay, you go through the left wing, you go to the right wing, I'm calling in the chopper, let me go first. And the faculty sits there, and actually while they are playing, the faculty is marking these students. Brilliant idea, brilliant idea. Not possible in India. Practicality नहीं है, ठीक है? We tell the students to go ahead and play. वो invite करेगा तुमको PUBG के लिए. तुम यहाँ पे पेपर चेक करोगे या PUBG खेलोगे? So the expense, the time and administration is a problem. Unless and until it's easy to administer, it is less expensive and it is not time consuming. We cannot call it a practical test. The next is whether it is reliable or not. Okay. A test can only, or an assessment can only be called reliable if it gives you consistent and dependable data across a timeline. Across a timeline. Okay. Now, what do I mean across a timeline? If I take a test with a student or an assessment with a student today, and I get an answer from the student and I get a sample of its language saying that out of 100, I will rate the student at a 70 or an 80. The same student, if he goes to a different rater, yani different teacher, are we sure that he will get exactly 70 as the first rater had given him or not? That is called reliability. That is called reliability. Okay. Reliability can also be a problem from the student's end. It can be a problem from the student's end. How? Someday when the student feels very happy, motivated, is in a good mood, the student is able to give better answers. The next day गर्लफ्रेंड बॉयफ्रेंड से फाइट हो गया है, वही स्टूडेंट आंसर दे रहा है, उसको मेंटल इश्यू, मतलब आई विल नॉट कॉल इट मेंटल इश्यूज, बट दे आर फ्रस्ट्रेटेड, दे आर अनॉयड, दे आर नॉट इन द राइट स्टेट ऑफ माइंड, दे आर नॉट एबल टू आंसर. बट अ गुड टेस्ट शुड बी एबल टू कंसिडर दिस ऑल्सो. अब आप पूछोगे सर ऐसा तो कैसे पॉसिबल है, ऐसा तो कैसे पॉसिबल है? That is only possible when you do not ask questions that trigger negative emotions in students. That do not trigger negative emotions in students. Let me ask you one question. Lot of us as English teachers, जब हमको essay writing आता है ना, तो हम लोग current topic देते हैं. We like to give current topics. It is wonderful because it's the easiest thing to do. Now, the best current topic that I can have right now is COVID 2019 and India. Okay, seems good. Students will be able to write. You give this as a university exam or या तो school end में exam देते हो. A lot of students will start writing, but there will be students who would have lost family members, who would have lost close relatives in COVID. Now the problem is that student is not able to write anything because the prompt of the question is troublesome for him or her. It's emotionally challenging for them, and that's the reason that they are not able to write. ऐसा नहीं है कि उनके पास लैंग्वेज नहीं है, लैंग्वेज है, बट इस स्टूडेंट को ये टॉपिक सेट नहीं होगा. सो कंट्रोवर्सी लेस न्यूट्रल टॉपिक्स should what you should choose. Reliability also works in this way. Sometimes we give essay or speaking visit to an airport, and this is one of the research that I had done. A school in Ahmedabad had given a topic in their internal exam, visit to the airport. Now the problem was half of the class was not able to write a essay on it. ठीक है, कुछ 200 words का essay लिखने को बोला था, बच्चे नहीं लिख पाए. 10th standard के बच्चे थे, they were not able to write. Why? Because many of them have not been to the airport. They don't even know what a bloody airport looks like. Again, socio-economic class comes into play. The ones who had gone, they're able to write a few things. The ones who had never gone to an airport were really worried, मैं लिखूं क्या, क्योंकि मैंने अंदर से देखा ही नहीं है. Student to student भी reliability नहीं रहता है, और administration का reliability is completely different. Administrative reliability actually means if the benches are broken, the light is not working properly, the examination center is next to a railway track. Okay, people who are from Vallabh Vidyanagar, you guys have a wonderful campus where you study. HM Patel has a beautiful campus, always quiet, wonderful scenario. You come to Ahmedabad and look at the colleges that we teach in. We are right on CG Road. I am right now sitting on CG Road. I have vehicles going by. So when my students sit and write, they are not able to focus because there's a lot of noise, there is heat, the ACs are not working. They're like, I don't want to give the exam. Passing marks aage bahut hai. This again is a problem. Then comes validity. Validity actually means, does the test or assessment evaluate what it claims to evaluate? Okay? Validity is of multiple types. Content validity hota hai, construct validity hota hai, sab hota hai. A simple question is, all of us talk about CLT, communicative language teaching. CLT ही चल रहा है सब जगह. Everybody is in MA, ELT, everybody is doing B.Ed, every researcher, the entire world is talking about CLT. Communicative language is the best language. Okay, so the student is supposed to speak. Unit में speaking है, but मैं student का speaking exam कभी लेता ही नहीं. As a school or a college, I never take the exam of speaking skill because practical it is not possible. मेरे पास इतना टाइम नहीं है, जनता नहीं है को एग्जाम ले सके. So practically it is not possible. So what do I ask the student to do? I ask the student, write a speech. Write a speech. You have been invited to write a speech on the farewell day of your school. Write a speech. So I am actually judging the student's speaking skill based on what they are writing. This is non-validity. This is non-validity. Because the skill of speaking and the skill of writing are two different things. Speaking is a spontaneous activity. Writing is more planned. So there is a difference there. I need to understand this. That is where validity comes into play. Construct validity would be this way. If I am asking the student to write an essay, why am I asking the student to write an essay? The student writes a wonderful essay. Okay? The student writes a wonderful essay, topic है, paragraph है, introduction है, conclusion है, topic sentence है, argument and thesis है. But I don't look at any of that. I don't look at any of that. I look at the grammar. I look at the grammar and say the student does not have grammar. This का that किया है, then का when किया है, इसको तो आता नहीं है, जाने दो, इसके कम marks. But the problem is you ask the student to write an essay, you never ask the student to write a grammatically correct essay. वो पहले बताओ. That is called validity. So validity is a large place. Validity is an amazing area. People do their entire PhD and postdoctoral just in validity of language. Okay. The next principle is authenticity. Authenticity is whether you can replicate real world language in your exam or not. I will not stress a lot on this because I do believe yesterday Dr. Mamta Pillai took the session of authentic materials with you. Language assessment also says the same thing. Yeah, don't give them fake language. What is this Palgish, Flester, Golliging, Bigrunt? This is not how people speak outside. Can their exams and their assessment be a reflection of what they are doing outside? And that's why, you know, India maybe we have started. Now we don't ask students to write letters in schools and colleges. Exams, we are asking them to write emails. No, we have done away with respected sir, and we are saying nobody speaks like that in today's world. It's just dear sir. आदरणीय मामा जी लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है, आप ये लिखिए, ठीक है? We are asking students how to make PPTs because we have realized that that is what they have to do. But the problem is we teach them how to make a PPT. We don't test them using a PPT or how to give a presentation. What we directly ask them is, come here, there are 10 sentences on grammar, solve this, I'll give you 10 marks, you passed in your exam. Take it CBSE, ICSE or state board, everybody does the same thing. So again, authenticity is in a part. And the last is washback. Washback के लिए एक ही आंसर है. अभी तक मैंने quiz 1 के आंसर्स तुमको नहीं दिए. And I'm very sure some of you are pissed off at that. Some of you are like, we did that activity, give us a solution to it. Why are you not giving us the answer? Why are you not giving us the answer? So just so that you really don't bother me, washback, I'll explain, it is still pending. Just so that you don't bother me, here are the answers. Take a look at it. Polygene was option C. Cynosure was option A. Gudgeon was option D. Hippogriffin was B. Schroff was D. Cherry was A. Now, if I take this score, ask every participant who is sitting here to give me their scores. किसी का 1 आया है, किसी के 2 आए हैं, किसी का 3 आया है. मैं क्लास में ये करवाता हूं, पेस्ट करता हूं बोर्ड पे और बोलता हूं देख लो, ये है तुम्हारा लैंग्वेज. Some of you feel really bad. There is negative flowing back of emotions because of the test. You will say, sir, altogether you gave us 48 seconds, 55 seconds. In 55 seconds, you asked us 6 questions and you are judging our language on those 6 questions. And if I have scored 1 in that, are you saying that I'm dumb and I don't know English? That is called negative washback. But at the same time, if I create an exercise like a caselet, I get you to discuss with me, I mark you based on your ideation and the way that you put in language, and you enjoy giving that kind of an assessment, और आपको ही ना पता हो कि assessment हो रहा है, आपको ही ना पता हो assessment हो रहा है, खेल में, मस्ती में, your student is able to enjoyingly do that activity. That is called positive washback. So negative washback and positive washback can both impact here or there. Okay. So going back to the 5 principles: practicality, possible hai ya nahi; reliability, can I trust this or not; validity, claim and what is being checked, is there a contact between two; authenticity, real world reflection; and washback is the feeling that the student gets, positive or negative. And every assessment has to fall in these 5 categories. Without the assessment falling in these 5 categories, we will not be able to really say that it was a great assessment. Okay. A few more caselets with you. This time you have to tell me which aspect of principle is getting violated. Let me give you one example. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. Read this. Okay, so let me tell you what I'm supposed to do. So a teacher, there is a course on phonetics. There are three teachers, and generally these three teachers do the same thing. They will come, read out the sentences, and students mark the sentence and do the transcription. But for the final exam, what they do is they call in a phonetics expert from outside. They call in a phonetics expert from outside. He is asked to read the sentence. This is taped and played for the students. But many of the students do badly on the test. Can you identify which principle is going wrong in this? Can you identify which principle is going wrong in this? Anyone? Give it an attempt. It might be difficult for some of you, but maybe you can give it an attempt. So,
May I, sir?
Yeah, please do. Please do.
I think if in internal exam the college teachers are only dictating the sentences, then
Right.
in final they should not call phonetics expert, because his pronunciation and his level of language would be higher than that of the college teachers. So if they want to call like phonetics expert in final exam, then they should opt for phonetics expert in internal exam too.
Exactly. So then which two principles are going wrong here? The principle of reliability and the principle of practicality. Reliability and practicality are both wrong. See, inter-rater reliability is not there. My students are familiar with the three teachers and the way that they are speaking. But when I have a fourth person coming और उसका भी voice तुमने tape करके मेरे को सुना रहे हो, it's a completely new sound. It's a completely new person. I really don't know how to. You have trained me for this entire course with just three sounds, and now the fourth sound is coming. Reliability is wrong over here. Take a look at this example. A university in Australia feels that it is necessary to evaluate the academic English speaking proficiency of foreign students. So, to do this, they ask all their teachers to follow the students for 1 week and observe their interaction. Based on these observations, judgments are made about who should get admission into the university and who should not. The students don't know that they are being observed. If you look at this, there is a problem of validity here, and that particular validity is called face validity. What is face validity? स्टूडेंट को एग्जाम जैसा लगना चाहिए. अब ये फॉरेन स्टूडेंट्स हैं, वहां से आए हैं, उनको नहीं पता है ऐसा सिस्टम चलता है. See, it's not a problem of reliability. They have the teachers. Sorry, it's not a problem of practicality. They have the teachers. They have the money to follow these students and look at how they interact with shopkeepers, bank officials, bus conductors, post officers. They have these kind of teachers. So paisa hai, practicality is there. But the problem is the student does not know that this is an exam. It's called face validity. The exam has to look like an exam. So because the students don't know that this is face validity, because there is a problem of face validity, the student will not really perform better. The student will say, okay, theek hai, jaisa hai, jaane do. I don't really know why this guy is following me around. Right? So that's where the problem comes. Okay, I'm going through the caselet slightly faster because I know that I'm on a deadline here. Okay, take a look at this. So it's a single exam which is to be conducted for all Grantinate colleges. Everybody who's doing a bachelor's course has to give this exam. उसमें grammar है, vocabulary है, reading है, writing है. ठीक है? Reading section में एक circus के बारे में है. Another one is about industrial pollution. Writing is on the process of organic farming, and then there is national level sports. The problem here that you see, here is it's a problem of actual validity. Validity is a problem here. Content validity. Okay, I told you that validity is of different types. The problem here is content validity. A student who comes from BSc organic farming or BSc farming or BSc botany, will be able to write something about organic farming. A student who is good at sports will be able to write national level sports. Somebody who has a background of industrial pollution will be able to write. What will a student who does BA psychology be able to read or write about industrial pollution? That's not possible. This is where content validity comes into play. I cannot pick up any task and give it to the student as a reading test or as a writing test. I need to see whether it aligns with what they are studying. So that the concept of ESP, English for specific purpose, extends into assessment. If I am teaching BA teachers, I need to bring in educational documents as testing and training methods. If I am teaching engineers, I need to get in brochures for testing and training them. If I am teaching art students and I'm teaching English, I can bring in short stories and teach them. And I can test them also the same way. The problem that we face over here right now is a BCom student in Gujarat, if they are doing it under Gujarat University, reads something like Nagamandalam by Girish Karnad and is supposed to score good in exams. It's not possible. Their minds don't work that way. No, I'm not saying all of them, but majority of them don't work that way. At the same time, give them an article, give these BCom students an article about how Adani has grown or how Dhirubhai Ambani has grown. Talk about that, of how they earn money, how they manage their business, and they will like giving exams also. That's where content validity comes into play. Just two more. Take a look at this very quickly. I know that most of you would have your answers by now. This is a classic case of practicality. This is a classic case of practicality and especially administration. Practicality and administration are failing in this because, see, the teacher had to give the instructions to the invigilator. She has not given the instructions. So the students don't know whether they have to mark it on the same paper or not. Same paper or not. Half of them do it this way, half of them do it the other way. Practically, the teacher should have been there and told the invigilator or told the students beforehand कि इसको ऐसे exam को follow करते हैं. That's where the practicality issue comes. Last one, and I'll skip the last one. This is the last one for you. There is one more, but I'll skip that. Take a look at this.
Administration.
This is something to do with administration, not just administering the test, but the reliability of how well the students will be able to answer. It's a problem with reliability because flaps नहीं है. Left hand side, right hand side वालों के लिए flap नहीं है. Geometry का exam है. 20 students felt their performance was badly affected other than others because the setting of the place was not that great. And this is simple. This is not related to language, but these things will come into play. This thing will come into play. Some of the things that some colleges are doing these days is they ask the students to draw something, and it's a speaking and listening activity where one student is kept on the stage and it's a test. It's a part of an assessment. The student is supposed to speak, others are supposed to draw. Okay, it's an English test, but if I don't give them space enough, if they're sitting on those chables are like the chairs with those flaps. If they're sitting on the chables, they are really not able to draw. And based on their drawing skill, if I were to judge whether they have listened properly or not, I'd be creating not just content validity, but a problem in reliability also. I will stop over here. There is one more, but I'll stop over here. Assessment and testing is a vast field. I have just, as I've said at the very beginning, I have just helped you think about it. Because as I've said, being a lifelong learner is the only way that you can do this. So I've just hinted at what assessment is, what are the 5 principles. The more you get into it, the more interesting it becomes, the better your classroom assessment becomes. For the last 10-12 years, I've still been learning, and I think I'll be learning assessment and testing towards the end of my life also. But this is just our way of initiating you to it. This is my email ID. You can definitely get in touch with me in case if you have any queries regarding this. Right now also, I would request you to share or ask questions if you have any. That's all. That is all from my side. But I would really request you, if you have any questions, you can ask me. I'll answer them. Or is it too ambitious of me to ask for questions by the end of the day?
Students, if you have any question, you can ask to sir.
And trust me, in case if you have any questions but you don't want to use this platform to ask these questions, you have my email ID. It's nitin.spillai@gmail.com. You can always drop me a mail and I'll respond to it. I understand that there's too much to gather right now, and it may not always be possible to come up with the questions right away. So you can definitely mail me, and I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability, in case if you don't want to ask right now. I guess we don't have any questions. That's okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
So, sir, thank you so much on behalf of this institute. And really, it was very interactive session from the beginning. As someone said that one teaches but two learn. In that way, the session went on, and it was quite interactive as well as enthusiastic from your side. And many students participated in the discussion also. I should name Nirjari was there, Poonam, Sandeep, Siddharth, Manisha, and forgive me if I forgot anyone. But interaction was there from student side also, and sir has elaborated all the things very nicely, perfectly, I should say. So with that remark, sir, thank you so much once again, and thank you all the participants for being with us. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. I'll have to make a special mention of Dr. N.V. Bose. He's like a mentor to us. We are just freshly starting out in this. He's definitely helped us come a long way in this. And H.M. Patel, obviously, it's homecoming always. And thanks to Dodia sir for all the the coordination. I have harassed him a lot. कि मेरे को dry run करवा दो, ये करवा दो. So thank you so much for the patience.
Nothing to worry about. Yes. Okay. So I stop the recording.